It is Showdown Sunday here on the ML Doubles Network, and it is a battle for the Sky Division title. My name is Inanimate J. Welcome to the stream. Alongside me in his Easter finest, it is the one and only Kendo Slice. Kendo, how are you doing?
I'm doing extremely well, Jade. This hasn't happened in an extremely long time. I was told that it would never happen again. Mateo in the same MLD lobby once again, but one of us is a caster now. Oops.
We're not perfect. Either way, the math stands as such. A series win for the Ducks today will confirm them as the Sky Division champions for the inaugural Champion League Season 6 here. And the Aviators, trying to reel them in, they need a series win to stay alive in that race, but they really want a 5-0 out of this one and hold their fate in their hands. Anything lower than that, and they need the Ducks to drop games next week.
Yeah, they definitely do need a little bit of help. The Ducks have vaulted themselves into first place in Champions League altogether. I find it funny that once again, the Sky Division seems to be extremely high up in that wildcard race. So every game that the Aviators can take in this matchup is going to be extremely critical. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, the Aviators have a really good chance of knocking off the Ducks here.
Yeah, they do. The Sky Division this season is probably a murderer's row of teams right now, as even the Jets are still in with a shout going into the final week of the season, but they still need a ton of help. It'll start with any losses for any of these teams, but it is a tough ask. It'll be Mateo and Little Giant in for the Ducks. On the other side, Killer Penguin and Puff the Dargan. Kendo, I think we're ready to go. What do you think?
I believe so as well. And if tonight is anything like the ending of last night, you know you're in for some majorly awesome Rocket League action. I'm hype, Jay. I hope you're hype. I get to cast some friends, some Ducks against the Aviators. Game 1 getting underway right now. Kickoff will be Puff and Mateo. Off the kickoff, a win, the cheat up for both teams, and I'm going to be watching the cheat ups very closely because the Aviators can do just what they did right there.
Really good kickoff here. It gets lost just a little bit into the Aviators side, and you see Little Giant chasing that one down. That is the biggest problem with that kind of kickoff. When you don't get the ball on your side of the field, it just increases the distance you have to close it down to try and get there.
Off. Mateo will win this one fairly pure. Into the end, Giant gets a great 50-50. Puff is not able to get back in time. Quick answer for the Ducks.
Puff actually did get back in time, but he slowed down a little bit too much in the corner here. Penguin just giving up the inside lane to Giant. It's a great 50-50. Puff can't get behind that ball off the sideboards there. Instant response from the Ducks.
2 goals in 13 seconds. The makings of a shootout so far here in this Champ League action. Missed touch by Puff. This is off the backboard. Killer Penguin is up on that backboard in defense. Mateo will push it to the side. Puff is there. The touchdown will go onto the hood of Giant. He's going to travel across. Nice touch over. He's able to put this up off the backward center for Mateo, who will finish 2-1 now. 4:21.
Puff left so much space here for Giant to get the double touch. Giant set up for that one. You see Puff way out wide. Really should have cut underneath, gone to net, tried to cut down that angle, be able to block it there, because chasing the ball leaves him so few options.
Back underway, Puff the Dargan, and Mateo will get the kickoff again. Here's a setup for Little Giant. Mateo once again to score.
I am not sure why Puff lined up to try and kill that kickoff. The way he came at it, didn't quite catch it on the replay, but he went and got the flat part of the Dominus into that one. Almost always the ball going to stay at the center line when you do that, and there was no support from Killer Penguin on that one.
Off the kickoff, this will be centered onto the opposite side. Little Giant is there. He gets the first touch. Almost gets a second touch as Killer Penguin's going to have a 1v1 back the other way. Mateo quick to interfere with that touch. This is center. Puff, a little bit of a misplay there, but Killer Penguin is there in time to stop that ball. The Aviators, here's a pass play. All the way back into the Duck zone. They alleviate the pressure. Can they get the offensive chance?
No, they gave up possession too easily in the corner there. Giant was a little bit out of position, but they gave him such an easy ball to deal with and then gave up a big shot the top of the box. Puff having to extend himself right up to keep that one away. Down 2 goals here, lots of time, but the Aviators just showing a little bit of signs of cracking under pressure early.
50-50. This is going to head towards the center after a wall touch. Mateo centers this off of the corner. Giants there to retain the pressure. The Aviators a little bit backward right now. That was a dangerous back pass. Puff able to handle that quickly, bringing the pressure back into the Duck zone. Killer Penguin touch off the backboard. Very fortunate bounce. And it is cleared away on the 50-50 by Mateo.
Right now, the Aviators are getting good opportunities. The Ducks were really poorly positioned, but again, another weak ball out of the Aviators trying to bring that into center gives the Ducks a clear that they bring right back upfield and look for another chance.
Total non-stop action going on right now. A little bit of a jumble up on the Ducks rotation defensively. Mateo will be the one to take this ball out. Falls on the ball. This will be cleared all the way into the Aviator zone. Commits hard on that, gets a 50-50. Killer is going to throw this back into the Duck zone. Giant will make a save there in the box. Mateo picks up possession. He will clear this back into the Aviator zone. Mistouch by Puff. This is going to be towards center, maybe a little bit over off the ceiling. Puff will take the first touch. Giant misses, and this will be cleared. Missed by Puff, back in his own end. Might not amount to much just yet, as Killer will take this back. 1v1, he has it up on the nose. The flick is nice, but Mateo there to make the save.
Yeah, just didn't let Mateo make the first move before getting that flick off Killer Penguin. Had great control, but Mateo outweighted him, let Killer Penguin make that flick happen before he went to challenge that ball. You just get the sense right now, though, Puff really nervous. He was talking about it a little bit off air before the game started. He's just not really feeling 100% confident at the moment. Very, very nervous coming into this one.
Yeah, it's definitely tough when you're going up against the team that has really dominated the league throughout multiple seasons. As a great pass by Giant off the corner, Mateo scores.
Killer Penguin goes into the corner, and then he's like, wait, I'm beaten. This opens up the shooting lane because he never actually pressures the ball. The Ducks get so much space to execute in that corner, and it's an easy shot to get the 3-goal lead.
So far, Jay, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of reactionary rotation out of the Aviators, and it's killing them. I think they need to try to predict that ball a little bit more.
I think the first thing they need to do is just keep the ball in their possession a little bit more, because sure, they're having to react when they give away the ball, but they're giving away the ball a significant amount, and without having possession of the ball to be able to set up and really figure out where you need to be with it, it's very, very tough to deal with.
Killer gonna throw this ball into the Duck zone. Giant is up on the wall to make the touch there. 50-50 win for Giant. This will be towards center. Killer Penguin is up. He's going to push it across. Up off the backboard. Killer Penguin gets the touch over. It's going to be a 2v1 back the other way. Killer Penguin shot on net. Mateo is there, respawning quickly. And passing to Little Giant on the counterattack. He scores.
The shot right into Mateo again as Killer Penguin really, really weak shot directly at a goalkeeper who had just respawned. Had to do better with that. Didn't have any boost, but I just don't think taking the shot's the right play there. Bring it in, force a 50. At least just do something to not give away possession like that.
8 seconds left. This game pretty much in the bag for the Ducks. Aviators looking for solace here, and Puff, great pass into a Killer Penguin goal.
This is a type of momentum goal you need late in a game here that you've already lost. Upfield pass by Puff right on the nose for Killer Penguin. Does really well to just roll that one around as Mateo tries to get there. They need that one. They've got to get into this series now because the first game going to the Ducks makes their job so much more difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Every game, as they said, though, will matter in this matchup because the Aviators need the games. They need the goal differential, especially with potential tiebreakers going into the wild card match. Now, what was the goal for the Ducks to win the Sky Division?
3-2 series win is the minimum they need. That'll put them out of reach of the Aviators for the next week or so. They're already out of reach of the Hawks. This is a 2-horse race left, and it is really up to the Aviators now to try and find 4 consecutive wins to keep themselves alive.
Fair enough. Definitely a lot of pressure then for the Aviators going into these last few games. Puff taking his time, and I know you mentioned that he seemed like he was a little bit nervous at the pre-game warm-up section.
I'm not surprised by him taking a quick breather as well. Maybe just throw off the Ducks a little bit there. Momentum is an actual thing in terms of the psychological aspect of it. It's very easy to get rolling in one direction or another as things are going your way. So it's sometimes good to just take a breather, try and reset yourself, maybe throw off the opposition before they keep rolling.
So here's the face-off. This is going to be a mistouch by the Ducks. Opportunity for Killer Penguin. He will score and make the Ducks pay for the cheat-up.
Absolutely. This one, just a really awkward touch out of Mateo, gets put all the way back. And these are the types of plays that the Aviators need to make sure they convert once the Ducks make a mistake. And they don't make it frequently, but make sure you convert it into something.
Face-off win for the Aviators. Go to the Ducks zone. Mateo takes possession there. Killer Penguin. Gonna see this 50'd into Little Giant. Giant bringing the ball back up. Off the Dargan there. He's going to bring it back into the zone of the Ducks. He does a nice 50-50. The flick up and over. They score 2-0 now.
Very important goal here is Mateo just getting dunked out of that dominus by Puff. You see Killer Penguin lining up the shot. Puff's like, I got it. Slams that one in with a little bit of a flick. 2 big goals in the Aviators' favor. It looks like they got just a little bit underneath their wings after the end of the last game.
Face off, this ball is up off the backboard. Mateo touching down, trying to do a little something nutty there in the corner. Of course, I will mention, if I have the time here, is Giant's going to put one towards the net. Don't forget to clip some of these amazing plays that you see today, because there probably will be a good one or 5 here on your April Fool's Day. Make sure you post them on Twitter. Hashtag them MLDPOTW, the Balls Guanana Play of the Week. You have a chance to earn one of your favorite players a case of balls. Killer Penguin now has possession in the Duck zone. Soft touch towards the net. That's an easy save for Mateo. He's going to follow the ball. He's able to clear it out. He's going to loft up, follow after the ball. He gets a 50-50. The Killer will do a good job of handling, passing it off to Puff, and it's cleared.
Those are the types of plays you really have to worry about if you're the Aviators fans right now. They're just giving away possession cheaply. They've done well to win it back here in the midfield. Killer Penguin, great shot, Mateo. Really good awareness to pinch that off the post and keep it a 2-goal game.
And the misrotation on the back end of this is going to see Giant score.
Puff actually gets caught really trying to figure out what he should do with that ball as Killer Penguin actually drove straight underneath that. Classic case of I got it, you take it, and neither player touching that ball away. That one really should have been Puff. Just slam it into the far corner.
Hashtag oof in the chat. Off the face-off, Mateo going to take a quick shot on net. Killer Penguin there. Up off the backboard. Here's a chance for Mateo. Interfered with very well by Puff the Dargan there in the box. Continued pressure by the Ducks as Giants will retain. So be high. It's in the box. Giant is up. Killer Penguin able to come across out of his own corner, make the interference happen there.
Big touch by Killer Penguin. He was trying to relay that into the corner for Puff to get one center out. Couldn't quite do it as there was so much velocity on the ball. Just slammed into the baseboard up and away really heavily. Lost chance there for the Aviators.
Here's Little Giant. He's going to clear this ball back into the corner. Continuing the pressure onslaught by the Ducks. Center for Mateo. Puff the Dargan will touch it away. Ball down for Killer Penguin. This is a pass It's a double commit. Giant will get a boomer, and the demo for Killer Penguin on the back end of that. They score.
This is a terrible pass by Killer Penguin. There's no way Puff's going to get to that one. Needs to take that into the corner, up the backboard, because of how close Puff is on that one. Just given away cheaply, again, twice now by the Aviators, and the Ducks have made them pay every single time.
Something that definitely has not changed. From Ducks of past, they really do enjoy making you pay for your mistakes. There's a pass out by Mateo into the corner. Giant there to continue the pressure. This is going to go 50-50. In the box, Giant gets a touchdown. Killer Penguin. Good interference being pre-jumped in the air. 1v1. Back the other way. Mateo clearing the ball out. Gets the most of that 50-50. Giant. This will be center. Up off the backboard. Quickly in is Puff the Dargan. Killer Penguin now to clear it away. Giant is there. That was another weak clear like you were mentioning earlier, Jay. And the Ducks have been eating those clears alive. The midfield presence for the Ducks has been something that they've really been hinging their game on. Once again, another weak clear. Centered in the box. This will get cleared away, though, by Puff.
More importantly is an analysis of why those weak clears are coming out. The Aviators were being starved out of boost clinically by the Ducks, as every time they put a ball in, they'd come through the corner, take the corner boost, and then circle back out to midfield, take the midfield boost as they brought the ball back in on offense.
Here's an opportunity for the Aviators, though. Quickly cleared away. Killer Penguin will retain. Touched out. 50-50 win for the Aviators. They're both in the same side. See if they can space out. Pass plays. Very close to being good, but it'll get caught there in the corner.
Oh, big win by Giant. Just clean around Puff as he tried to line that one up. Just gave way too much space on the outside. They won't get a shot away, the Ducks, but with this kind of counterattack and the Aviators trying to stretch, looking for this regulation win, there might be an opening here for a late winner.
This is going to be touched onto the back end of Puff. He's a retreating shot towards the goal. Not quite on, but Puff will get it to the side. Chance now. This will be towards center. Puff almost gets the shot towards the net, but it'll touch ground. We go to overtime.
And this one, I feel like the Aviators could have put away much sooner, or at least not given the Ducks a lifeline back into it. Killer Penguin looking for one long off the kickoff. He'll get there as the defense for the Ducks. Giant flying past the ball. It's a 3-2 win.
Very nice midfield shot there by Killer Penguin. And they will win, taking a game off of the Ducks. Definitely a deserved win, in my opinion. They definitely earned it. It was a couple of cheap, quick goals for the Ducks that saw them tie that game up. The Ducks almost stealing one there in game number 2.
Yeah, they were out shooting the Aviators 8-7 in the end on the shot totals, but you really just got the sense that there was a spell of possession from about the halftime numbers, like 2:30 onwards, till right about the very, very end, that the Ducks were very much in control of that game, and the Aviators just slowly being choked out of their boost pads, forced into really weak clears. It felt like the Ducks could have taken that one if, one or two bounces had gone completely differently.
I can definitely agree with that. The one thing I did notice about that game, though, a lot of possession taken away by the Aviators. I think they're listening, Jay, because they controlled the ball a lot better in game number 2. No assists out of the Ducks, and that's something that they really like to do. There's a very high assist-to-goal ratio for that Ducks team.
They controlled the ball better, except for the 2 goals they gave away cheaply, because both of those were incredibly poor lapses in ball control, giving away possession.
Off the kickoff. This is going to be centered for Giant. He is up. This is a shot on. The Ducks quickly will score 15 seconds in.
Good pressure in the corner. Puff just not getting to that ball in time as Mateo pops it out. Penguin all the way upfield there. Puff has to win that ball in the corner as Giant just has nothing but open space to shoot at.
Off one by the Ducks. Mateo, the cheat up. He's going to score. Another quick one, 4 seconds.
The Aviators also cheat on this one here, but Killer Penguin, you see him tracking the ball, never figures out where that's going to go. This is the danger off of that kickoff. The closer you get to that ball as it comes towards you, the less options you have. And this cheat, unless it's controlled, is just never going to work out.
Once again, Giant, the win. This is going to be towards the net. He might actually put this in. Puff not able to get the angle on that score.
This is an identical goal to what they had in the first game, as Giant just wins the 50 there. It's at an awkward angle. Puff trying to rotate around after taking the kickoff, just can't get the save. That one really had to be Killer Penguin, was way too slow coming out of the corner to attack it down the sideboards.
Penguin getting demoed off of the face-off there. Here's a chance for Mateo. Quick shot on. The Ducks are on a roll. 4 goals in 38 seconds.
The Aviators have absolutely no idea how to take a kickoff right now. They are just giving away the ball. They're putting it anywhere they can, but their positioning afterwards is doing nothing for them. They just have no idea what zones they're trying to cover, and they are just at a complete loss.
That's one of the things that I've always noticed about when you get 2 teams that really like to cheat on a kickoff. One of the teams usually, if they have more practice, they dominate that kickoff and they're able to utilize that to get these fast goals like the Ducks are doing.
It's a simple it's a simple answer though. Just stop trying to go for the cheat. Put yourself in a position that you can effectively zone out the offensive chances from the cheat, and then there's no problem.
Hopefully the Aviators are listening to the fountain of knowledge that is Inanimate J here on ML Doubles. Ball cleared all the way back into the Aviators zone. Little Giant trying to center this up off the wall. That's a very nice touch. And Mateo will get a shot towards net. He misses though. Quickly to interfere is Giant on the Killer Penguin counterattack. Mateo misses the ball. This will be in the box. Both Aviators there at the same time, and a miss will see all the pressure lost. 50-50 still in the box. Killer Penguin. Interesting touch. Giant able to clear it out.
The Aviators are grasping at straws right now. They are struggling to try and figure out what they need to do with this ball, and you can just get the sense, again, like in Game 1, where they're just starting to come off the rails. They can settle it down. There's plenty of time to get 4 and get back into this one, but it starts with making sure they can get the ball into the offensive end and keep it there for stretches of time.
2:41 left on the clock. The 4-goal lead for the Ducks. As every second goes by, looks more and more tough to deal with for the Aviators, and if you're an Aviator fan, you're definitely looking for a goal within the next 30 seconds. The Aviators, though, have had the pressure on in the past 30 seconds. We'll see if that'll amount to anything here as the counterattack by the Ducks coming in, centered by Mateo. Giant not there in time. Continued touch right there. Giant. This will be center for Mateo. Powerful shot in on net. He scores 5-0 now.
You say that Giant wasn't there in time. He waited. He recognized that the shot wasn't going to be on, and this is a sign of a really smart player. When you recognize that there's no angle to make the shot and pulling yourself in against that backboard is going to do nothing but spike the ball out, he waits for a panic touch from an Aviators defender and just keeps that pressure on.
Into the game, Mateo. Push this across. The Ducks once again getting pressure off of the kickoff. Giant shot towards net. He will score 6-0 now as the lead continues to grow.
And Mateo, strong ball up into the corner there. The Aviators, again, just completely grasping at anything they can get right now. They are getting absolutely piled on by the Ducks, and it is going really against them at the moment, as nothing they can do is working out for them.
Pushing back the opposite way are the Aviators. Mateo throwing this towards the net. Is Killer Penguin, and he will score.
That's an important goal. Again, the Aviators trying to get any sense of momentum going forward in this one. Minute and a half, there's just enough time to find 5 more goals, and this is something that they just need to build on. Cut the lead down, make sure that they don't lose this one by an absolute mountain, because they've dug themselves a giant pit to get out of in this one. Just make it look respectable, and then try and get back into it in the last couple of games.
Minute left on the clock. We're very close to a trip to South America here. Is Mateo going to put this ball on? And I hope you got your Speedo ready, Jay.
Oh, they don't have new beaches down there? Ayy. Got him.
I know they can't see my face. There would be a decent emote out of that. Oh my goodness. Jay, why you do this?
Apollo said something about a good time in the chat. I figured I'd give him one.
Oof. Anyway, back into the gameplay. Ay, ay, ay. Cleared all the way back. Jay, you've rattled me. I don't know what to do anymore with this game.
I think it would be, my advice would be to ride out the final 20 seconds or so, and just enjoy the sounds of Manfield Storm.
Manfield Stormy. The setting. Of a win. For the Ducks in game number 3. We might end up going to a server reset. I saw that it was actually being requested in the chat. I'm not sure if they're going to get in touch with you on that one.
Yeah, they did. We're going to go ahead and remake that one while I figure out some info here. So hopefully this won't take too long. But quick look at the live standings. Now this puts the Ducks on 43 wins, the Aviators on 38. So if the Aviators can still get the 3-2, there is still hope that they can stay alive in the division hunt, because they do absolutely have the ability to overtake the Ducks if the Ducks somehow collapse down the final week of the regular season. An update from the other match going on right now, the Dodgers currently up 3-0 in their series against the Bulls. That's putting them in pole position to take the Volcanic Division Championship in the final week of the season. So that is really good for them after a bit of a stumble down the midseason stretch.
Very much so. I apologize. I'm trying to get back in. This is tough for me because, you know, I'm mentally challenged, Jay. I thought you knew that by now.
It's okay, Kendo. I should probably actually just send you the info. That would help.
Well, you know, I'm sitting here typing random letters and numbers. And
I should have just made the password oof and see if you figured that one out.
Yes, Jay, that is what you need to do. Or Speedo. Speedo would have been oof enough.
I should have done that. I should have done that one. You're right. You're right. That's my fault. I did not figure that one out quickly enough. But regardless, server's been remade. Everybody appears to be in, and we're ready to go here for game number 3, as I did not update the scoreboards while I was remaking that lobby.
Everyone seems to be off of the lag as the Ducks now once again pressuring the Aviators. Off the Dargan's gonna miss here. Here's a chance at a 2v1 back the other way. Mateo touching it a little bit too far, loses control. Killer Penguin counterattack. The touch goes straight off the tail end of Giant, who's gonna bring in a counterattack of his own. Lofted high. Puff the Dargan able to clear.
A solid clear, just didn't quite go anywhere. And that's, again, inviting pressure back onto the Aviators' net. They just feel very slow to loose balls, and it's letting the Ducks have a lot of possession that they shouldn't otherwise really in the offensive end.
4:09 on the clock. Mateo shot towards net. Killer Penguin, a missed flip, and Mateo will score.
Killer Penguin just had to put this ball somewhere. Probably should have been able to control that one a little bit. Didn't do himself any favors with that bounce. Had nothing left in the tank to catch up. It's a good angle shot out of Mateo, and the Ducks with the lead here in Game 4.
Face off, back into the Aviator zone. Killer Penguin trying to do something nutty with it. This is a touchdown. This will be up off the backboard. Killer Penguin trying to get around it. He'll shoot. He scores. Quick answer for the Aviators.
Good response out of the Aviators. See the Giant just get caught completely off guard by that. Killer Penguin, recognizing how out of place Giant is, keeps it cool, catches that ball, and just taps it into the bottom corner. Tie game.
Face off. Goes the Ducks' way. That was a soft, gentle 50-50. Perfect for them to jump on. Mateo close on the post there on his shot. Ball will fall down in the corner. Aviators, I'm not sure if they know who's going for the ball and who's not going for the ball, as once again, pressure on by Mateo. Giant will play it smart at the midfield and just let that one go.
Oh, Puff, again, just trying to do too much with that ball. There's nothing that he's going to be able to do with that, especially with Killer Penguin respawning. Should have been a goal out of the Ducks. They don't convert that one, and now the Aviators have a chance to redeem themselves for that last opportunity.
Giant and Killer in the corner. 50-50 will go to Giant. Puff will get to the ball first, though, back in his own end. Giant, I think, just killed Puff off of that ball. And the pressure will once again be put on by Killer Penguin.
Oh, good shot.
Touchdown, Giant in net. Unable to get there. Score.
This is a massive play out of Killer Penguin. Given space at midfield, puts it in a good spot. You see Giant trying to reset himself in the net. Never going to react to that in time. Mateo trying to come across the goal line. Just a good shot out of Killer Penguin on the solo effort.
Giant, the bump on the roof did not come in handy there as he fell down and didn't get the chance to get boost. Here, the Aviators once again gonna score.
Good pressure off this kickoff. Puff very aggressively out to this ball as you see both Ducks completely out of sorts coming down that wing. Leaves that shooting lane wide open. They're chasing the ball back to their own net. Good momentum building out of the Aviators right now. They need to keep this up. They need to bury the Ducks like the Ducks did last game. Just take them completely out of this series.
We'll see the ball go to the Ducks corner. Giant is up. He's going to try to push this over Puff. Puff is there. He's going to touch it down. 50-50 for Mateo. It'll stall out. Giant quickly bringing this towards the net. Puff there able to make a backflip to keep that out of the danger zone. Another 50-50. This time a win for Puff, but it'll go to Giant. Shot towards net. Double touchdown. He scores. 2-3.
Giant left completely alone with this ball here. You see Killer Penguin circling around looking for boost. What does that leave? The backboard wide open. No defense there. There's no way that Killer Penguin's going to stop that once Giant gets it up against that board.
Killer Penguin going to bring this ball in off of the kickoff. Mateo, the touch up in the corner. Giant's going to commit hard on this ball. Back touch by Killer Penguin. We'll see the pressure alleviated, although it's right back into the Ducks corner here. Cleared by the Ducks. Killer Penguin will soft touch. Giant getting a demo on Puff the Dargan, though. And a clear in. Here's another chance at a double touch. He misses. Mateo, shot towards the net. He shoots, he scores.
Well, this is a play that I think if you look back at the VOD and you're Killer Penguin, you go, what did I just do? And what did he do? Tapped the ball in towards the Ducks, gave away possession. He circled away, didn't challenge, and what did the Ducks do? Bring it right back in and score.
The kickoff, Little Giant, Killer Penguin going to win the 50-50. This is down. Mateo will clear it away. Giant all the way back into the Aviator zone. Killer Penguin is there. Controls the touch, then ships it back to Mateo. Mateo mishandles the ball. This is up for Puff. Giant gets up in time. clear all the way back down in the Aviator zone. Up off the backboard, Mateo, the touch towards the net. Giant tries to get a touch. Puff the Dargan will save. 50 seconds left. Tie game 3-3 as the Aviators much better effort this time around. Giant up. Puff will win a 50-50 there in the air. Another 50-50 in that very same corner. Ball will drop. Puff will get a doink on it. Not very strong, though, as Giant quick to put the pressure back on. Here's a misplay. Open net opportunity. Puff the Dargan will pick it up. He scores with 20 seconds left.
Heavy commit by the Ducks in the offensive corner. Killer Penguin just tapping that into Mateo. The deflection going well past Giant. By the time he realizes, gets the half flip. Puff, who was already at midfield, grabbing boost on that initial challenge, able to pick that one up for the runner. 4-3. They've got to defend this lead with 20 seconds to go.
Face-off win for the Ducks. Giant is able to get there before Killer Penguin. Puff is going to miss. Here's an opportunity for Mateo. Up off of the corner. This is going to drop in the box. Killer Penguin. The touch is up. Giant back towards the net. He'll score. 4-4 with 4 seconds left.
Again, the Aviators giving away possession cheaply. Killer Penguin's up defending the backboard. He does it, but he doesn't do it well. Trying to hover in the net. He can't do anything about that one. But it started with the kickoff. They didn't get possession off the kickoff, and now they have to defend another one with 4 seconds to go.
1 second left. This is going to be skied high. Killer Penguin shot towards the net. Mateo with the save. We go to overtime in game number 4 with a 4-4 game, Jay.
Remember, this game's so important for the Aviators. They have to win this game to keep their divisional hopes alive, and it's floating away from them. It's gone as Giant scores from midfield. The Ducks are your Sky Division champions.
Nutty offensive touch by Giant out of his own end. The distance shot you see on the back end of that Giant Mateo. Car bump in the middle of the field right there. I'm not sure if that was brotherly love planned out or complete accident, but I thought it was a great celebration. Your Sky Division champions of Champ League, the Ducks.
They did exactly everything that they needed to do. They managed to get the wins they wanted. They've got 3. That's all they needed. And now it's up to the Aviators to get their last win out of this one and make sure that they shore up the presence that they need in the wild card.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how the Aviators handle this situation right here. They've lost the series. Of course, every game does matter. But are they going to come in with the same fervency? Because the morale, after going 2 very, very close games, losing one of the 2 in overtime, I mean, that definitely hurts. And a lot of what the Aviators have been doing has been hurting themselves on the defensive rotational end.
Yeah, really, it's tough to say. I feel like if you're the Aviators, you have to take what you did well out of the last games. Killer Penguin getting this one off of the kickoff. Just take what you did well out of the last game and keep doing that. But don't give away the lead as many times as they did in that last game.
Off the kickoff, 3 seconds in. It's just a pure, straight kickoff. Get the 45-degree angles and your protractors out, boys, because the Aviators have scored in 3 seconds. Mateo going to pick up possession in his own zone. The touch towards the net. Killer Penguin will clear. In the air is Giant. Touchdown. And this is going to be cleared out. Mateo, first one to the ball. Cleared across. Giant and Killer Penguin will race to it. Penguin wins the touch, but gets demoed for his effort. Mateo trying to bring this quickly back in. Killer Penguin puts it back into the corner. Aviators will give the ball, or the Ducks will give the ball up to the Aviators. Giant patient towards the net as the mistouch put that ball right in the box. Back touches by the Aviators. Giant's going to put this towards the net, up off the backboard, still in the box. This is a touch high. Puff the Dargan will follow it. Mateo, though, able to get the touch, and that could have been a shot on net.
Strong defense from Mateo's. Giant actually gets a little too close to that one, but Killer Penguin really slow on the attack, just doesn't quite get to it in time. He just can't find the angle. He tries to get that one in far side with the Ducks lurching towards it.
Back pass. Here's Killer Penguin. He can do something nutty with this ball. He misses out on his opportunity. Giant gonna pick this ball up in the mid. Mateo there to stop it. Doesn't allow it to get to Puff the Dargan, who was ready to put a shot on net. Off trying to keep the pressure on. Giant's going to win this touch in the side. Killer, Boomer up off the backboard. Mateo, contested right there. This will be center for Puff. Giant gets up and high in order to keep Puff from getting another shot on net.
Right now, the Ducks, I feel like they might be struggling a bit. Mateo was asking if he could restart his PC. Already got the server remake earlier on, so no time to be able to try and reset. He was suffering from pretty high ping in the last game. You can just get the sense he's not quite reading the play as effectively as he could be.
Which is mildly confusing because these guys are in the same house.
I mean, should have had a wired connection.
Interesting. Anyway, Giant gonna put this towards the net. Killer Penguin will see it cleared all the way across. Mateo quick to challenge. This is gonna be towards the center. Giant wins the challenge. Killer Penguin the touch up. This is still on the line. It's pushed out by Killer Penguin. Back the other way, counterattack in full effect. Mateo turns on the ball. Here's a chance. Tries the slow play it. Killer Penguin will clear all the way back down to the Ducks' end.
The Ducks had every opportunity to put that over the line, but it was given to them by the Aviators, who just rushed upfield without really understanding whether or not they had control of the ball. Got really aggressively turned on, and the Ducks really unlucky to not have a goal out of that.
1:47 left. Mateo will travel with this ball, see it all the way into the corner. Giant, that might be a risky play. It ends up being a perfect pass for Mateo. Open net back the other way. The demo by Giant on Killer confirmed.
I don't think Killer Penguin ever saw Mateo looking down there or it's actually Puff the Dargan, excuse me, looking down there to try and win that ball. It was a pass down, and it was perfectly executed to shank that one past the Aviators as they came out to challenge at midfield.
What killed me was the cheeky demo, though. Mateo slow played that ball, trying to make sure that he put that shot on net. Giant comes around. Killer Penguin must have thought, okay, I got a chance if I can interfere with this ball. And Giant just destroys him, leaving axles and dreams on the field.
The interesting thing about that play, Mateo never had any boost to begin with. When he got that ball touched down to him, left open at midfield, he will take the lead here with about a minute to go for the Ducks.
Killer Penguin, I think, a little dazed there. He misses. He hits Puff the Dargan in the mid. No chance for a defensive play as Mateo open net all day.
The Aviators just never getting the ball clear of their lines, and again, they're falling victim to this tendency to leave a challenge open. Again, right there, Killer Penguin, he's drifting upfield on the cheat, and then immediately turns away, goes to the corner, leaves that ball open for Giant, who gets a chance, but no shot on goal.
Touch up by Killer Penguin. Giant will get the save for his effort there. 1-goal lead, 47 seconds left. Aviators need to strike very soon, or at least control their touch in order to get a great shot on net. That shot right there, straight into a defender. Giant will save. Mateo up. He'll overcommit here on the missed touch. Killer Penguin, 2v1 back the other way. Giant weak touch, opportunity for the Aviators. Killer Penguin will score! Tie game, 23 seconds.
Good capitalization on a weak play as Little Giant goes up the backboard. No power to that clear, just floats down to two waiting Aviators. Putting it in near side to make sure Mateo can't close the distance down. They've got a chance. They've got 23 seconds left and possibly overtime, but they absolutely need to try and find some momentum. They cannot give up 4 games here in this wildcard chase.
17 seconds left on the clock. The Ducks definitely don't want to go to another overtime here. This will be touched towards the middle. No! Mateo almost getting a shot towards the net. Ducks just trying to control this. This will be centered for Puff. And he will let this one drop. Deuces wild overtime. Jay, who you got?
Can't bet against the Ducks right now. The Aviators haven't shown me enough over the length of this game, and I will tell you right now that kickoffs are their biggest weakness. That has got to be about the 8th goal they've given up off a kickoff this series.
Hashtag oof in the chat.
Defend the net.
That one.
Just defend the net.
Literally just happened.
But just defend the net. Puff turns upfield trying to win a ball that he's given up a ton of room to. What happens? The player who's already there has already gone ahead and beat him to it. Just defend the net at that point. Make the back turn, cover the net, because you know the shot's coming.
Man, oh man. Yeah, and then that was the thing. Puff, the Aviators, I'll give them credit. I think they adjusted a little bit. They realized they were losing the kickoffs, so they were trying to keep one back a little more often. And notice I say a little more often, but their defensive rotation on that trying to play back usually was rotating up, and that is a flawed system. You can't rotate up when your opponent is trying to cheat up on a regular basis. You got to accept that pressure, and then you have to push it right back in their face and get a pure touch, because if you don't get a pure touch and a good challenge, they're going to eat you alive. And that really was the theme of this game. The Ducks took advantage of misplays and missed opportunities and missed rotations by the Aviators, and they hurt them about 90% of the time.
I feel like a lot of the problem for the Aviators came down to two things. The first thing that they did wrong was let the Ducks win the kickoff. In every sense of the word, they either put it in a spot where the Aviators couldn't deal with, or they won it the way that they wanted to. And the Aviators played into their hands very, very frequently. The second thing the Aviators didn't do well is just zone themselves effectively. And a perfect example of that is that overtime goal. Goes in because Puff makes a turn out of the corner to try and close the distance down rather than cover the net. He's never winning that ball. There isn't a person on earth that can get from the corner boost to midfield and beat a player who's already right on top of that ball.
Yeah. A very, very tough situation. And that's really what the Aviators did to themselves. They put themselves in tough situations the entire time. The misplays out of those tough situations, because you're in a tough situation, a lot of pressure on you. Those misplays that came out of that, the Ducks were able to jump on and capitalize off of. And that's something that the Ducks are very, very good at. If you want to beat the Ducks, you have to reduce your mistakes. And it starts with firm control and a solid rotation, both offensively and defensively.
Just don't put the ball in a place that you don't have a follow-up on. And the Ducks
Exactly.
don't have easy opportunities. It's that simple. But on that note, folks, if you've seen some of the plays that you've enjoyed tonight, make sure you got them clipped. Make sure you send them to us on Twitter with the hashtag MLDPOTW to submit them for the Balls Play of the Week. Presented, as always, by our friends at Balls Ground and NG Soda. The winner each week is voted by you, the fans, getting a case of balls shipped right to their doorstep. Only a couple weeks left in this season, so make sure that you've got all of your favorite plays lined up for the week. The Dodgers confirming off stream a 4-1 victory over the Bulls, putting them firmly in the driver's seat. 2 wins left to clinch a Volcanic Division title and a trip to the Season 6 postseason. I think I'm ready for one more match, Kendo. How about you? You think it's break time?
It is definitely break time, Jay. I know my computer could use a little bit of a break. Arctic cooling, arctic.ac. Check them out. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You had nothing prepared for that plug, did you?
No, I had nothing prepared for that plug. I plug everything, Jay. Sometimes you guys got to support me. That's all I got to say. I'm going to cool off. I'm going to maybe put on some Arctic cooling headphones. That way I don't have to listen to myself cast anymore.
I think what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go plug Kendo into recharge. When we come back, folks, it's a Tropic Division matchup as the Hurricanes and the Flames get set for battle. The Hurricanes looking to stake themselves to a division title, as well as they only need 3 more wins to lock up the Tropic Division title. You guys don't want to miss that. Don't go anywhere. Showdown Sunday continues right after this.